Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Smoke Sammy, and today I have some Am I the Devil videos for you. My girlfriend doesn't trust me when I'm with my friends. I made some mistakes in the past, but I'm committed to my relationship. I have a bachelor party coming up that we've been arguing about. How can I prove to her that I've changed? Long story short, about 6 years ago, we had a big fight and broke up. I went to party with my mates and stayed out all night. Did some substances and had a loose evening. Got into a car with a driver that I shouldn't have who crashed his car, nothing serious. Took some healing, but we got over it and got back together. About 3 years later, I thought we were in a good place. I went away on a boys' trip after earning her trust again and ended up on some Molly. So casual, just ended up on some Molly. Word got back to her through a mate's girlfriend and she lost it at me. Basically, I lied to her that nothing happened when it did and that scarred her. Well, I've grown a lot in the past 3 years and haven't touched anything but the occasional beer. I haven't had any big nights, and when I do drink, I'm never wasted. I've always kept myself to a reasonable amount and made it home before 12. Issue is, she doesn't trust me with my own friends. Yeah, I wouldn't either. We live apart, so I haven't seen them since my trip 3 years ago. In a few weeks, I have a bachelor party for one of them who's been my best mate since I was a teenager. I can't not go, as I'm a groomsman at his wedding. I know I won't do any substances because I don't want to put her or myself through anything again. I've worked so hard to get back to where I am in my relationship and my career. I want to go along, have a few beers, but keep it chill and come back to my life. Problem is, she doesn't trust me with these people. There's nothing I can do because I can't not go, and no matter what I promise her, it doesn't mean anything as I've lied before. I mean, yeah, you made your bed, bro. You gotta lie in it now. Stuck in a rough spot, my own fault, but I just don't know what else I can do to give her confidence that I'm not that guy anymore. Look, I mean, I get it, right? Like, you're a groomsman. It's kind of an obligation to attend the bachelor party, but like, you gotta pick, I guess, at this point, your relationship or your friend group. Your friend group doesn't seem to have led you in the right direction in the past. I don't blame your girlfriend for being uneasy about you going out with them again, especially since the last time you did, you lied to her about the substances that you took. She had to find out through one of the girlfriends of your friends. It's really easy to slip back into bad patterns when you're hanging out with the people who you kind of formed those patterns with in the first place. You haven't seen them in 3 years. Yeah, right now you're like, oh, I won't do anything. But then what happens when they pull out more Molly or some other substance and then they try to pressure you into doing it? Like, you're more likely going to do that. You fall back into the same habits that you did when you were with people after not being with them for a long time, you know? So, yeah, sorry, buddy. This is a rough situation. Even if you really didn't do any substances afterwards, I wouldn't be able to trust you either, because you said you even healed. You went through the whole healing process, and you still somehow just, oh no, there's Molly. Oh no, I did some. Tee-hee. Like, man. Am I the devil for assuming my friend was keeping her partner away because I didn't like him when actually he didn't like me? Awkward. I have known Allie for 15 years. We first met at work when we were single and the youngest people there. We became good friends and socialized together and still do. Allie met her partner Matt, who she is still with years later. He does not share her interests. He's an avid football supporter, UK, and very anti the rival football team. Even when he doesn't go to watch movies live, he watches at the pub with his male friends. He plays sports with his friends. She's a football widow. She likes going to the theater and to dinner. He'll go to dinner with her, but doesn't enjoy the theater unless it's a serious play. She likes musicals. And she ends up going with her female friends instead. She said she doesn't mind. They aren't joined at the hip, and she has plenty of friends and relatives who enjoy going to the theater with her, and that she doesn't want to go to football. I wonder. I am known for being brutally honest. Oh no. When she introduced me to Matt, she asked my opinion and I gave it. I didn't really see them together. I didn't like that he drinks and swears. He has a professional job but isn't very refined, unlike her, and I found him a bit difficult to connect to. At the time, she was hurt but got over it and generally just engineered it, so I never really saw him. He was always busy when I organized a party, etc. Now they have 2 young boys and he looks after them when she comes out with her friends. To be honest, more recently my opinion of him has improved. He seems to be a really good daddy to the boys, and they clearly adore him. They are also football mad. It took me longer to meet my significant other, Edward, but I now have, and we have just gotten engaged. Allie and Matt both attended our engagement party. Edward actually really also likes football and ended up getting on really well with Matt. Later, I asked Allie if she'd be up for doing something as a couple, as Edward and Matt got on well. She was non-committal. A few weeks later, I tried to arrange something and she accepted for herself, but Matt was busy. I explained I wanted to do something with the four of us when he was free. She kept stalling. I pushed it back, maybe I shouldn't have, and she said it wasn't a good idea because he and I didn't get on. I said it was okay, I changed my opinion more recently and Edward liked him. She looked at me surprised and then awkwardly let me know it was because he didn't really like me. She thought I knew. I didn't, and I was upset. This was news. Wait, why are you upset he doesn't like you when you didn't like him? I asked her why. She was embarrassed, but she said he found me judgmental and too much. I don't even know what that means. A few other examples as well. I was hurt and told her I had assumed she kept us apart because I didn't like him and not the reverse. She said that we didn't get on, so what difference does it make? I'm beyond hurt and did react badly and told her some hard truths about him. I regret this now and tried to apologize, but she won't return my calls. Am I the devil? Yeah? What do you mean? Oh, I didn't like him very much and I just, because I didn't like him, she was keeping him away from me, but actually he doesn't like me. How dare he? This is the worst thing ever. I am so hurt by this because how can you not like me? Bro, you guys don't get along, you don't get along. You don't have to like each other. That's fine. You don't have to hang out with each other. Why would you? If he and Edward really get along and really want to hang out with each other, they can do that separately. You don't have to be involved. It's really not a big deal. Yeah, it doesn't feel nice to hear that somebody doesn't like you as a person. It's different when you don't like them either, Imagine being the friend though, and your boyfriend doesn't like your friend, so you don't really have them hang out. And then you tell her, hey, you guys don't get along, we're not gonna hang out. And she's like, oh, well, it's okay, I like him fine now. Awkward. Super awkward. Am I the devil for asking my neighbor to stop letting his cats look through the windows? I have a Jack Russell Terrier who is usually very well behaved but goes crazy at the sight of cats and will bark incessantly, which, as you can imagine, gets really annoying. My neighbor has 3 cats, which he doesn't seem to allow to go outside, which I think is part of the problem. They are always looking out the window, which makes my dog, who also likes to look out the window, bark and distract me. Yesterday, I went outside and asked my neighbor if he could stop letting his cats look out the window because of my dog. He said that really wasn't an option, apologized, and went back inside. But I got angry because he wasn't listening and asked if he could consider getting gates or something for his windows. Why don't you do that for your windows? You take your dog outside, don't you? Your dog doesn't have to look out the window if your dog gets to go outside, according to your logic. He, out of the blue, told me I was acting entitled and that I obviously had no idea what it was like to own cats, which isn't true because I had cats when I was younger. My neighbor went back inside before I can say anything else. I was pretty firm with myself for a while, but now I'm worried that I may have been unreasonable with my request. Am I the devil? Yeah, you were unreasonable with your request. The cats can look out the window. That's crazy. The fact that you were gonna go tell somebody, don't let your cats look outside their own window, when you can also prevent your own dog from looking outside the window if it bothers you so much. Or just train your dog to not bark as much. This was a whack request. I can't believe you actually walked over, you thought about this, and then you walked over there, and you actually asked to have them stop looking out the window. At no point were you maybe that's embarrassing? I don't know. I'd be embarrassed. Today I effed up by microwaving my socks at work. What? So I biked to work. This morning it poured on me halfway there and my shoes plus socks were absolutely soaked. By the time I got to the office, my feet were pruned like raisins. I thought, okay, I'll just dry them out real quick in the break room microwave. I'd seen people do gloves in there before. No big deal. The microwave. Would you use the microwave if you knew somebody else's socks were in there? I take off my socks, toss them in there for 2 minutes, and go back to my desk. You didn't wait with them? You put them in the communal microwave and then you left. About 45 seconds in, I smell something awful, like burnt hair mixed with wet dog. Then the fire alarm goes off. Turns out the synthetic material in my socks basically melted and filled the entire office with smoke. Everyone evacuated, building management shows up, asks where the fire was, and all my coworkers are standing around shivering in the parking lot while I have to admit, it was my socks. Now the microwave is trashed, HR sent an email reminding everyone not to cook clothing, and I have achieved permanent nickname status, Hot Socks. Honestly, that's a little too nice for what the fuck you did here. Why did you microwave your socks at work? I'm so glad I don't work with this guy. I don't want to smell your burnt, wet socks because you decided to dry them in the microwave. All right, well, that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this content or you like me, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!